7 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order, Bowling Green Township Park Committee. You want to hear the minutes of the last meeting?
Yes. The meeting started at 7 p.m. on May 15, 2012, underneath the Shelter Building due to power outages. Nicole Youngkins read the meeting minutes. Nancy Corpening motioned to accept the meeting minutes. Robin Farmer seconded it. Motion passed. Barb Weissman suggested that there be a cutoff date to purchase bricks this year so they are installed before the ground freezes. She suggested the date to be July 21st so the bricks come in time. It takes 6 to 8 weeks for the bricks to be made. That would mean the installation would be around mid-September. It was suggested that we go ahead and install blank bricks with the bought bricks so it is done at once. People could still buy the blank bricks and they would be inscribed and installed the next year. Bricks are $50 for the small ones and $100 for the larger ones. Nancy Corpening motioned to continue to sell bricks and make the cutoff date July 21st. Nicole Youngkins seconded it. Motion passed. There was also discussion that the bricks be collected up to a certain time and installed at the same time each year from this year forward. The bricks are going to be installed around the base of the flagpole. Donnie Kirkfield said he would not help install the bricks, but he would help advise. He said that there are a couple of different ways we could go about installing the bricks. The main thing is that we would have to remove the topsoil whichever way we decide to install. Nancy Corpening asked if he could give us an estimate to what it would cost. Donnie Kirkfield said that it would depend on which way we decided to install. The main cost would be the concrete, and Donnie said that we may not need the concrete. It just depends on how hard the ground is, and we won't know that until we start digging. Another way to cut down the cost is to have volunteers that install the bricks. On Memorial Day, which is the 28th of May, there will be a ceremony to fly the flag for the first time. Everyone is invited to join in on the celebration and go to a potluck following the ceremony. These were in addition reserved. Adam Youngkins mentioned flag regulations and to make it aware that if the flag were to be put up before 12 p.m. on Memorial Day, that it would need to be flown at half staff. Once it turns 12 p.m. on Memorial Day, it is to be flown at full staff. Adam Youngkins does have a copy of flag regulations if anyone does need to see them. Robin Farmer motioned that Jeff Corpening to buy snow light with a photo cell on it. Nancy Corpening seconded it. Motion passed. The light will be placed on the outside corner of the shelter house. Adam Youngkins asked who would be installing the light. Barb Weissman said she hoped that Adam Youngkins would. Adam said it won't be a problem. Will Kern said he has extra wire and other items that he might need to do the job. Jeff Corpening wrote a grant and needed to know what the park committee wanted to put in it for the playground equipment. The committee discussed the pros and cons of the different playground items, which consisted of round monkey bars, animal springs, a climbing wall, and the hurricane spinner. Nancy Corpening motioned to put the hurricane spinner in the grant. Nicole Youngkins seconded it. Motion passed. Barb Weissman said that a guide came out to give an estimate for the floor for the community building. The guy said it would cost $8,950 to do everything and would be guaranteed for life. In order to do that, we would need a grant. The park committee discussed the sign that sits by the road outside the park. The current sign had dry rotted. It will not have the letters. There was a sign at James Corner for $600, but it had a big crack on one side of it. Robin Farmer asked if there were rules for the sign. Does it have to be a certain size? Does it need to light up at night? Nancy Corpening informed the park committee that the rules for signs has been changed, but is unsure of the current rules. Nancy Corpening motioned to table replacing the sign until some of the other projects have been completed. Robin Farmer seconded it. Motion passed. The National Road Yard Sale is coming up. It will be held May 30th through June 2nd. Nancy Corpening suggested that it should be set up next to the flagpoles and people could purchase bricks. However, volunteers would be needed. The yard sale. The recent crack in Brownsville was discussed. Nancy Corpening mentioned that there had been talk about taking down the concrete barriers or filling the park. Legally, even though it's not going to be a bad idea to remove the barriers for that reason. Due to June being a busy month, the park committee meeting will not be held until July 21st. Nancy Corpening motioned to adjourn the meeting at 7:40. Robin Farmer seconded it. Motion passed.
Minutes stand approved.
Approved minutes.
I'll second it. Now Jeff has a grant he wants to send to the Energy Cooperative, a request for a grant was sent to the Energy Cooperative for a spin,
Hurricane spinner.
hurricane spinner. And, do we wanna approve that he can send this grant into the Energy Cooperative?
Would you like me to read any of the portions of it that maybe you haven't heard?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The total amount requested is $2,701. What I had done since the last meeting, I had heard your minutes at the monthly meeting, and I contacted people with Hurricane Spinner to get an update on the pricing, make sure it was current. So I've got everything included here on that, and also had them put the option of the volunteer installation, and save a couple $100 by, and that's how I applied for it, because I know we can get help to do that. And also had to include the option of possible disposal of the current unit. It's not something you would have to do, but I did include it in the $2,700. Because it's possible that they'll just give us a partial part of the amount. But packet includes a copy of the tax exempt reseller form, a copy of the township's financial report that's required. I also, on behalf of the board, contacted the Board of County Commissioners and gave them some basic information on it, and they agreed and provided a letter of recommendation that's already been mailed to Operation Roundup, because I found out that they already mailed it when they sent me a copy, which certainly will make it look good. Added some references. I used similar references that were on the bigger application: the county engineer, county prosecutor, and Doug Smith, one of the commissioners. They worked for us before, so I figured they'd be good again. On part of the narrative stuff, one of the questions they ask is, does the agency serve outside of the named counties? What I had to do is go back and look at some other grants that I've been involved with and that we were successful with here, to use some of those statistics. And to answer that, this is the narrative that I put in. The Bowling Green Township Community Park is located at the intersection of Route 668 and 40 National Road. Nearby attractions include National Road dedication marker, highest point on the National Road in Ohio, and the original location of the Second Frontier. Flint Ridge State Park can be found about 3 miles north of Brownsville on Brownsville Road. Flint Ridge State Park has approximately 525 acres with trails and is accompanied by a museum. Further to the north and traveling east is Black Hand Gorge Trail that can be accessed from Brownsville Road. The trail is about 4.3 miles in length and provides trail access to Black Hand Gorge Park and Toboso. The Taft Reserve and W.C. Craner Nature Center is also located to the north at the intersection of Flint Ridge Road and Fairview Road. It features 425 acres with walking trails, horse trails, and a nature center. As the Brownsville Park is nearby, these attractions, the recreation area, attract as many as 2,500 people per year, estimated from the 2011 outside of Licking County. Number 10 was state the purpose or organization's request and include the amount requested and the specifics of how the funds will be used. Bowling Green Township, established in 1808, along with the Park Committee established in our bicentennial year 2008, and its dedicated volunteers have created a park upgrade plan that includes removing and replacing playground equipment, ground cover, and fencing. This grant request is to purchase the replacement for a merry-go-round still located in our park. The antiquated unit does not meet the safety requirements outlined in the Public Playground Safety Handbook produced by the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. One of the Township Parks Committee's priority goals is to make our play area as safe as possible for our youngest visitors by taking a proactive approach to preventing injury and helping the township lower prevention insurance risks and costs. I'd ask for other sources of funding. On that, I put the township's first grant was obtained from the beautification portion of the litter grant in conjunction with township's Plant Pride Not Litter program established in 2006. The township received a NatureWorks grant in 2011 And it goes on and describes more about that nature grant. It asks about other sources of funding that we've used. I wrote, the park committee has raised funds to fully fund the purchase of a new memorial flagpole installation along with volunteer contributions. The township can provide and operate equipment and produce any necessary labor to complete the Parks Committee's projects. The park committee continues with the process of collecting donations from their memorial flagpole and Great Britain program. The park committee participates in bake sales, Ohio40.com, annual Licking County National Road Yard Sale that brings many visitors through the area, holiday events, building rentals, and fundraising auctions. For the equipment replacement, volunteers will assist with in-kind labor on the installations in order to save the project funds. After considering many options, the committee has decided on replacing the merry-go-round with item TRF 16610 Hurricane Spinner quoted by Meyer Design Incorporated for $2,701. See attached detailed drawing. I also had to send a copy of that bigger map that's posted in there and had them replace the layout with the actual unit. They changed that, so I could attach that with it. And I don't know how much, here's the actual updated quote from Meyer, it's dated June 20th. So it's
How much is it?
$2,701. The breakdown on it is 1704, freight's 307. Complete installation would have been 600, but the volunteer assist is 480. So I just crossed out the 600. And removal and disposal is listed at 210, which is part of that total. If you want to review that, look at here to make it official. If you want to vote on it, sign it, and then if the rest of it's signed underneath there. Voting members today are Barb Wiseman, Nicole Yelkins, and Nancy. But I want to try to get it in the mail tomorrow because it has to be in 10 days before the deadline. And August 6th, I guess, is when they...
You put a lot of work in on this, Jeff.
Yeah.
I like where you put in there about replacement bond. They got to come up to the standards for safety of the park.
I guess you also might want to read a letter from the commissioners because they just took the information I gave them. And they gave this real nice recommendation. But it reiterates the same thing, the safety and
Safety and purpose.
Did you hear anything in the narrative that I need to make changes on or anything?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah,
I didn't read it all. I didn't want
Well, by putting that outline area, tourism, what was available, makes us look more attractive to be the recreation park here with that.
I think the cooperative looks at bigger picture of how many people in the whole county would use it.
Yeah, I didn't realize it involved that much research and stuff on it.
The letters towards the back, I think.
Board of Commissioners. Says we're pleased to highly recommend the Bowling Green Township Park Committee's grant application be considered for favorable approval. That's always a good thing. And it's Bud, Feitner, and Smith. So it's all three of them.
I don't have copies of that, but I did scan them so I can put them into like a presentation or something. 'Cause I-
Probably helping Nicole some with her minutes too.
I'll just publish it on YouTube or something and then.
That'll help you with that.
All right, do we want to approve this? Did Jeff sends this to the interview cooperative?
I make a motion
Second the motion. You approve it?
Those storms keep going around us.
I know.
I think
We
got a
need the
real-
rain, but we
Yeah.
don't need the
I think we got a real good chance of getting it. If we don't, just keep applying.
Well, anytime you do something like that, and with the effort and time you put into it, and you give them more than what they want, they've got a lot of things to look at, your chances of getting in there are a lot more so. Rather than just saying, well, we need to apply for grants, people need to do the effort and apply for the grants. I can stand up and say, you need to apply for grants.
Well, I've been to more than one seminar in grant writing, and the best one I ever went to, first thing the lady said is, the last thing you do is ask for money. You have to tell them what your project's about and what you're doing. You don't just say, I want money,
Yeah.
because it won't work. Take that to the post office tomorrow and see where it goes.
Alright, now the bricks. We got, see, we had 10 sold. We got 4 more small ones sold. Which is, Robert Bob Snedden, the flagpole company, Howard's Auction Service, and in honor of Betty Brown Brothers Stewart, that's the 4 new ones with that. And then we got 2 more big ones, so it's the Wright family and the National Trail Volunteer Fire Department.
So it'll be a total of 4 big ones.
4 big ones and 14 small ones. And I'm gonna order the small ones probably Friday. I'm gonna go over there. And they should be in anywhere from the 1st of September to the middle of September.
You're gonna
We'll
go
get
ahead and
them in. I
place
talked to Craig Wills up here on 668, and he will help us with the cement. He will do the cement.
Oh, good.
Have we decided to do, well, decided to do cement, so there'll be, are we gonna do just a cement base and then lay the bricks on and then have them put in the sand? Now we're gonna do it, so we can replace the bricks or add to them.
We gotta find out how many blank ones we're doing. How we're gonna do that.
The brick company should be able to advise you on that.
Oh.
If you, do you want to stay with the original size at 8 by 8?
Yeah.
If you do that, then they can,
You know, they'll have to plug in the size of the big ones. We'll probably use those as
They're
cornerstones.
yeah, they're gonna be on the corner.
Yeah, and they'll just have to meter the difference in, do those come out exactly double?
they should be dimensional to fit in.
Okay, so we use those on the corners and then, and probably with the 14 we have, I wonder if it would be best to install them closest to the flagpole and then do the blanks as we go out, so they don't get disturbed.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, you know, I'm just asking on that. And then figure out how many blanks.
You've made some good headway on that.
Yeah, it went together real well the last couple of meetings and stuff. Had the flagpole up. It was I think it was a real nice community ceremony that we had
Yes.
for putting up the flag and everything.
Although, next time we do something like that, we should advertise it after the meeting, after the ceremony that we had, because people were starting to complain that they didn't really know about it.
Of course, it was made available online and all of the, you know, all the minutes and things are available online. And they're welcome to come to any of our meetings.
Right, yeah, but I just know people, I didn't know about it, so I just put that out there.
Yeah. And are you thinking about, well, when you order it, then are you gonna just set the date, or you wanna set a date now for installation?
They say 6 to 8 weeks, so we'll just have to kind of wait and see what, when they come in.
And then set up time for installation on them. Then they'll get their opportunity to come and volunteer.
Right. And then I wanna say, that flagpole was really a whipping when that storm was going.
Oh.
It was not like,
How the flag held
Yeah.
itself.
real good.
Yeah. Oh, you could see the pole, yeah.
Straighten itself back
If
down.
I'd known how to take it down, I would've come over here, but everything just went
Oh.
flying and.
Well, you could've got hit by a tree too if you'd done
Yeah.
that.
That storm was
See, that
on.
tree came up over that fence and landed right in there. So,
That storm was on
If it'd been
before
one of
you knew
those
it, too.
cheap ones,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have lasted.
Oh.
It wouldn't have lasted.
Like a light pole.
The light's coming on like it's supposed to every night.
I haven't seen it at night yet. Like I said, during the day.
Is there anything else you want to discuss?
Was there any question about the teeter-totter?
But that was one of the things I was gonna bring up, like how are we gonna do it so that it absorbs when people bounce on it, like the tire strategy?
I've got some commercial gym flooring that comes in 12 by 12 snap layers to layers. I'd be willing to bring that down, put several feet on each side. I don't know if that would satisfy their
Would that work?
requirement or not.
It's absorbent flooring, but they use
It's
it
got
in
holes in it,
medium.
so the rain will go right through it. If it would stay there without, you know,
It has-
usually when those holes fill up, it kind of anchors it down a little bit.
It has to be dug down in a little bit. What do you think? Probably 4 feet square under each one? Or do you think that's too large?
Probably bigger than that, I would think.
Bigger than that? Those are what, 12 by 12?
Yeah.
So you do 4 and 4, do 16 on either side. You get 4 foot square.
6 or 8 on each side, probably enough.
Yeah.
So is that what we're
But I'll-
going to do?
And if they fell off too, it's larger. It would be absorbent too if they fell off. Not just under the, where the inertia comes down at the.
Before we do it, I want to read the code book again, see if it spells it out any better.
Right.
Because so far, all I've heard is absorbent surface, not really no.
Is that teeter-totter in compliance? The teeter-totter itself?
They didn't write anything else up on it other than that.
Oh, when they inspected? Who were the people inspecting it?
It's an independent group apparently that works with our loss prevention insurance. And they came
Oh,
back.
the insurance and loss prevention, okay.
And
But
the
if you're
township
gonna-
is supposed to respond to that in order for our rates.
Oh, after it's been fixed and stuff? and then-
Well, it's supposed to be beforehand. This officer brought that to our attention. She's supposed to do that, to let her know that we have a plan.
Because part of that was that merry-go-round, wasn't it?
Interestingly, they didn't write that up in the report,
Who didn't write that?
that inspector.
Oh,
But they definitely wrote up the bolts that they want to change. So that needs to.
so what do we, as a park committee, need to write a letter to the trustee board and say those need to be
It was
changed?
already brought to
That was
Aaron's
brought up at the
attention.
last meeting, nobody's done that.
And Aaron's the one that fabricated it and installed it, but it's his responsibility to do it correct. Or we can certainly remind him of next meeting.
If you're gonna use your material to do that, teeter-totter, you should charge them for it.
That's not a problem. I should have enough material.
Check and see, absorb it, and then go from there.
If it doesn't work, we just have to do something else. There's still some tires back there, but, I don't know the best way to do that. You don't want to have a tire there that's going to collect any kind of water
Right,
anywhere.
because mosquitoes, that type of thing.
And I think it can be more of a hazard than help if you have something that people are going to trip on if you don't get it anchored in. But a lot of those playgrounds, they have the real thick pads everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's probably what would be under. These are more dense. It's a floor, but it's not rubber, but it's plastic. It might satisfy them. As far as I know, they never wrote that up before. Years ago, there were several things written up, and most of those problems are gone because all that junk box store stuff is out here. And when it was gone, it eliminated a lot of that.
Two more things. One thing is, should we establish park hours since with the light? I know someone had mentioned that people come here in the middle of the night now that the light's up, so I
In
didn't
the
know.
middle of the night? I've never seen them in the middle
Someone
of the
had
night,
said
but
something about it that.
there was a couple over here one night that stayed till about midnight. And that's what the kids just run all over the place and wasn't paying attention to them. But as far middle of the night, I've never seen anybody yet.
I just didn't know. And then another thing was, you had mentioned that there was a place near Glumford that people could hold their birthday parties and stuff. I didn't know if you had any more information about that, because I know past people have discussed raising the price here, so I just didn't know if there's any
I've
information.
never talked to anybody that's went there yet. In there.
Yeah, we talked to Mason to what, 35?
Before they can raise the price on the building, I'd say some stuff needs to be done to it, like the floor painted and the window fixed and stuff like that. Some maintenance done on it.
Is that window leaking?
It does when it rains real hard from the side.
Something that came up during the yard sale this time, up on the hill, some people wanted to rent or use tables. And I know in the past people wanted chairs and different things that they've used, and it's just been kind of a non-written thing to, like I told them, I talked to Barb, as long as no one has the building, they generally offer some kind of donation, which is what they did. And I kind of wanted to ask the board if they thought that you should have some kind of policy to say this is how we handle it, the cost of tables are this much, or have a suggested
Anything
donation
that you
amount
can
or
write down for
something.
guidelines is important, I think.
Because down the road, you just don't want someone thinking they could get it, and someone else couldn't. If you had some kind of, maybe a written policy or decision on how you want to do it.
Yeah, when they pick them up, who they return them to. You know, people lots of times get things and then they forget where they got it from.
Right.
But I mean, it was found money. It wasn't a lot, but
But should we charge a deposit for them?
I'd say it's something to cover it, because like I said, they always forget where they came from. Once an event's over, and that's it. We have a count on like how many tables we have. We use just the new
yeah, we've got a
ones.
full inventory of everything.
The old heavy tables or just the new?
There
New
were
Well,
all,
one.
the, there was 4 new ones over there, and 2 of them went over there, as far as I know.
people need them, they can have them anytime they want them. Of course, they wouldn't know that. I told them.
Yeah, because they're only used about once or twice a month over there. Did you want to get with Nicole and maybe work out something about rentals and stuff on that? Get an idea about how much, tables, and then we'll just table that and table the tables.
So
We'll just-
far, I've been given $10. Well, the first people already 4, and the second set of people already 6. I've been given $10 each time. I think we charge a deposit to make sure that they come back. Cause there was a guy that called and wanted to rent them and he never showed up.
Right.
That would stop that too.
Just make sure if somebody's renting the building that they have everything they need for their event as a priority, because it's always come with the rental.
And you have the calendar for that.
Yeah, like somebody wanted to rent on the 11th of August some tables. I couldn't let them have them because the Clippingers have them on the 11th. Has the building on the 11th. So, you can't rent out tables when there's somebody renting the building.
Are we going to leave just the shelter house, just first come, first serve?
That's about the only way you can do it.
Because that way, if somebody's having an event there, somebody can still come here, have a picnic, use the park, do it. I think it should be just left open for
Mhm.
public access always,
Yeah,
24/7.
because you can't block it off.
No, and then you don't want somebody that's renting the building to tie up the park that residents might want to be using or whatever. I think just leaving it open.
But a couple weeks ago, Amanda Davies was renting the building, and then they had a birthday party out here. Well, I noticed they was going in and asking them if they could use the bathroom. That's,
Oh, yeah.
I suppose that'd be up to the people that's renting the building if they want to let them use it. I don't know what else you could do about it.
I just think leaving it open to, when people want to use it.
That's a good point. It could present a new problem. If you did rent the shelter house, then you'd have to provide a facility, restroom.
Wouldn't have to.
Well,
But, you know.
it'd be expected, I'm sure, desired. Someone's gonna have to go.
Then I had some cancellations because of the storm and the electric being out. Other than that, August, Don Watkins on the 5th, that'd be a free one, I suppose. Jim Schreider on the 8th, Clippingers on the 11th, Senior Citizens on the 13th, the Pennington family on the 18th.
Do they charge the senior citizens?
No,
I was gonna say, I don't think they should be charged, because that's a community.
yeah. Like the senior citizens help us with the bake sale for Easter to help
Right.
pay for their.
They do a lot. They do a lot for the community park and things. That's why I just see whether or not they were charged to use the building.
Anything else?
I make a motion that we adjourn. All in
We
favor?
adjourn. Say aye.
Uh,
It's 7:30.